Jawaharlal Nehru begins his letter by saying that Indira, his daughter, have been in the habit of receiving presents and good wishes on her birthday. He tells her that he cannot send her any presents from Naini prison but sends her good wishes. He also tells her that his presents cannot be of material or solid and that they can only be of air and of mind and spirit. So he will be sending her things that even the high walls of the prison cannot stop. He also tells Indira how he hated sermonizing and doling out good advice, and whenever he is tempted to do so, he is always reminded of the story of a very wise man that he had once read. So Nehru began narrating the story to Indira through the letter. He said, 13 years ago, a man named Hyan Sang traveled from China to India. This man came all the way to India from China in search of wisdom and knowledge. He came by crossing the deserts and mountains of the north amidst many dangers and obstacles. This man's thirst for knowledge was so great that he spent many years in India learning and teaching at the great University of Nalanda. Hein Sang became a very educated man, so he was given the title Master of the Universe. He traveled far and near and explored India till he became very familiar with the culture and its people that he even wrote a book of his travels, and in it he wrote a story about a man from South India who had come to Karna Suvarna, which is the present Bihar. This man was very strange. He always wore a copper plate round his waist, and on his head he carried a lighted torch. He also had a staff in his hand and walked in his strange outfit with a proud look on his face. People would look at him, and when he was asked about his strange outfit, he told them that his wisdom was so great that he was afraid his belly would burst if he did not wear the copper plates around his waist. And what about the torch? He said he had the torch on his head because he was moved with pity for the ignorant people around him. Nehru tells his daughter that his wisdom does not live in his belly like the foolish man. He does not believe that he has learned everything. He said, those who think that they have learned everything worth learning must sometimes feel rather sad that there is nothing more to learn. Nehru brings back the memory of Indira, how she used to admire Joan of Arc, and how her ambition was to be like her. He tells Indira how ordinary men and women are not usually heroic at first. But how do they become heroes? Jawaharlal Nehru tells her that they become heroes and leaders who can make history because they are inspired by great leaders. He tells her how great leaders have something in them which inspires a whole nation, common people, and make them do great things. He continues to tell her that memorable things happened the year she was born, that is 1917. In the month she was born, on November 1917, Lenin started the Great Revolution which has changed the face of Russia and Siberia. Just as Lenin could inspire his people to struggle and bring about change, Nehru tells his daughter that Gandhiji could inspire the people of India for its independence too. When this letter was written to Indira on October 26, 1930, Bapuji, who is Gandhiji, was in prison. But even though he was in prison, he could touch the hearts of people by urging millions to become soldiers to India's freedom. This great leader, Bapuji, has inspired millions to become heroes for the country. Not only men, but even children and women. He tells Indira, in India today we are making history, and you and I are fortunate to see this happening before our eyes and to take part ourselves in this great drama. He feels very privileged that he and his daughter can participate in this fight for freedom. He says while participating in this great movement, they should do nothing that may discredit their cause. Because if they are to be India's soldier, they have to protect India's honor. Nehru tells Indira that life will not be easy and that decision making will be hard sometimes. But in any case, she must keep in mind never to do anything in secret, for he believes the desire to hide anything means that she is afraid, and fear is a bad thing. He urges her to be brave, and the rest will follow. He says, if you are brave, you will not fear and will not do anything of which you are ashamed. Under Gandhiji's leadership, Nehru believes that there is no room for secrecy or hiding, as there is nothing to hide. Everything is transparent. He says we work in sun and in light and do nothing secretly. He does not believe in doing anything in secret. He also mentions that privacy is needed in life, but it is not the same as secrecy. He promised her that if she follows what he had said, she will grow up to be a child of light who is unafraid of anything that may befall her. He ends the letter by saying that he has so much more to tell her, but he cannot contain everything in one letter. He also reminded her of how fortunate she is to have her brave mother beside her, and that in times of doubt and trouble, she will always be her best friend.